Let's be very clear. What the U.S. Department of Education is doing right now with graduate school loans is not a small paperwork change. It is not a harmless policy tweak. And it is not about simplifying the loan system. This is about power. This is about shrinking the middle class. This is about returning us to a pre-civil rights, pre-New Deal America. And at the center of this, Black women. They are coming for our access to advanced education, our ability to move up, and our role as one of the most politically powerful demographics in the United States of America. And if you're not paying attention, you need to start today. I'm Anne Marie, and I'm the founder and owner of the AntiHR, an HR consulting company that provides employee-focused consulting. I spent over 25 years managing and overseeing human resources, and I am also a licensed attorney. While I don't provide legal advice, I share insights based on my deep understanding of how HR really works. My niche is teaching employees not just how to recognize discrimination and other wrongdoing in the workplace, but how to leverage that recognition into negotiating a paid exit, severance, without having to hire an attorney or file a legal claim. Because HR is not your friend, they are not going to tell you this. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, comment, but do so constructively, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when another video drops. The Trump administration passed their One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and to implement it, the Department of Education restructuring federal graduate loans. Here's what's changing. 1. Graduate Plus loans gone after July 1, 2026. These are the loans that currently allow students to borrow the full cost of attendance of many graduate programs. 2. New federal loan caps. Professional degrees can borrow $50,000 per year up to $200,000 over a lifetime. Everyone else gets $20,500 per year up to $100,000 per lifetime. And 3, they are introducing a tiny outdated definition of, quote, professional degree. Only a handful of programs will now qualify: medicine, dentistry, law, pharmacy, veterinary, optometry, and podiatry. That's it. Here are the degrees that they are now downgrading and no longer classifying as professional degrees. And this is where the problem begins. Nursing, including NP, DNP programs, social work, MSW and DSW, teaching and education leadership, public health, as in the MPH, counseling and mental health programs, physical therapy, as in the DPT, occupational therapy, physician assistant programs, architecture, accounting, and many other essential fields. These degrees cost far more than the new borrowing limits. This, ladies and gentlemen, are how you choke off access without saying you're doing it. So let's talk a little bit about the real world impact of this. Let's talk about what this means for regular people. Graduate school is already extremely expensive in the United States of America. Many of these programs cost $60,000, $80,000, $100,000, even $150,000. Under this new system, federal loans will stop at $100,000 for a lot of these programs, total across your entire graduate life. There is no grad plus to fill the gap. So what options do students now have? Private predatory loans, co-signers, high interest rates, or they simply don't go to graduate school at all. This isn't just restricting education, it's eliminating economic mobility. It's pushing poor working class and middle income people and students out of the fields that keep this country functioning. And let's just call it what it is. Black women hold a disproportionate number of the degrees being downgraded. We are disproportionately represented amongst nurses, nurse practitioners, school leaders, social workers, therapists, public health professionals, counselors, educators, community care workers. And these are the fields that the Department of Education, Trump's Department of Education, has now decided to classify as not professional enough. This is not random, people. This is not an accident. This is not an oversight. This is targeted. This is not an accident. This is not an oversight. This is targeted. Black women pursue graduate degrees at the highest rates. Black women uplift their entire communities through these fields. Black women achieve economic mobility through advanced education. Black women form the backbone of essential services. Black women are the most reliable voters in the United States of America, and Black women are the strongest defenders of democracy. Black women consistently vote against authoritarianism and fascism. We are and have always been the firewall. So they're trying to break the firewall. This is a long game. They want an America where the wealthy rule and everyone else serves them. The goal is a modern Gilded Age. Minimal worker power, minimal social mobility, minimal public institutions, no upward mobility, no strong middle class, no educated workforce, no civic participation, corporate control of everything. Here are the steps to get them there. Step 1, shrink the middle class. Step 2, limit access to education. Step 3, target the demographic who vote. Number 4, push the poor into economic dependence. Number 5, privatize everything. And who do you have to weaken first? Black women. Because historically, we do not bend to authoritarianism. Now let's just talk politics. Black women are the most consistent voting bloc in this country, the most civically engaged demographic, the group that decides elections in major states, the demographic that stops extremist candidates from taking full power. We have never voted for regression. We have never voted for authoritarianism. And when I say we have never, I'm talking about a majority of us. We have never voted against civil rights. If you want to consolidate power, you must weaken the group that consistently votes to stop you. This graduate loan policy, this is part of that weakening. You limit our education or our access to it. You limit our ability to be economically mobile. You limit our leadership pipeline, and you limit our political power. They want to break Black women. But here's what they don't understand, and they have never understood. We don't break. Listen very carefully. If you don't like what's happening right now, you cannot keep voting for the people who created this. You can't say this is terrible and then go vote the same way in 2026. And when I'm talking about voting, I'm not just talking about midterm congressional elections. I'm talking about your local elections from top to bottom. Now is not the time to opt out or throw up your hands. Now is the time to put up your dukes and put them both in the fight. If the ruling party is harming your community, harming your earning power, and harming your children's future, and dismantling higher education and or access to it, then it is time to vote strategically. And what I'm saying right here really is not Black women, it's to all the rest of y'all. I don't need to say names. You know who is in charge right now, and you know who passed this law. You know who is implementing this policy. So if you want it reversed, you have to vote them out. And it is now America's favorite time to make money, at least corporate America's favorite time to make money, holiday season. Voting is just one strategy, but money is the other. If you want to weaken authoritarianism, here's what you do. Stop spending your money with them. Stop supporting corporations that bankroll harmful politics. Stop giving money to organizations that oppose your rights. Stop helping the wealthy get wealthier. Be intentional about how you spend your money, especially now. Spend it in your community. Support Black-owned businesses. Support local businesses. Support the people who support you. And stop supporting the people who don't. Because here's the truth. They need our dollars to keep this machine running. They need us to spend to stay in power. If we withhold our dollars, the machine slows down. The strategy collapses. And before I close this out, let me just say something that I think everyone needs to hear very clearly, especially Black women. Do not let this moment convince you that your degree is less valuable, less professional, less worthy, or less legitimate. What the Trump Department of Education is doing is not a reflection of your effort, your intelligence, your excellence, your profession, your contribution to society, your impact on your community, or the value of your work. This is not about you. This is about who comes after you. This is about limiting access for future generations. Do not let them try to diminish the credentials that you have already earned. They can rewrite policy, but they cannot rewrite the nights you stayed up studying, the sacrifices you made, the clinical hours you put in, the boards you passed, the community that you have served, the lives that you have saved, the lives that you have protected, the students you have taught, or the people that you have healed, supported, or uplifted. Your degree is still your degree. Your license is still your license. Your professionalism is still your professionalism, and they cannot take that away from you. Perspective matters as much as action. They are trying to close the door behind you, behind every one of us, but they cannot invalidate what you have already accomplished. So don't internalize this attack. Recognize it for what it is: a strategy to choke the pipeline, a strategy to restrict mobility, a strategy to control the future. But they cannot undo the past. And that is why we must stay focused. We have to push back so that the next generation can walk through the same doors that we broke down. This is the moment to get loud. This is the moment to organize. This is the moment to educate your community about what is happening. And this is the moment to prepare for 2026, because that election will determine whether this continues or whether it ends, whether higher education closes or access is restored, whether this country becomes permanently divided or we stop the slide backwards and into fascism. They are betting that we are tired, distracted, worn out, and overwhelmed. They are betting that they can break us. But we have survived far worse than this, and we have rebuilt from nothing. We have overcome systems designed to crush us, and we will overcome this as well. They can try to break us, but they never will, because Black women don't break. We strategize, we mobilize, we vote, and we rebuild. And we will do it again. If you enjoyed this commentary, please take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, but do so constructively, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video when it drops. I'm Anne Marie, and this is the Anti-HR. HR is not your enemy, but they are definitely not your friend, but I am. Thanks for watching. Bye.